What is up? What is up? Welcome back to another NFL Rundown brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm here with Tyler Hicks, and we are, like the Cincinnati Bengals, dusting ourselves off the mat after not the best weekend, but we're ready to get at it, right? We don't give up, we don't quit, and we keep plugging away. Tyler, let's just jump straight into it. We got the Jets and the Colts on Thursday night. What are your thoughts on this game here? I'm leaning towards taking the Jets, but I don't know. Do we really want to take the Jets?
I'm not taking the Jets. If I'm taking anybody, it's the Colts.
Okay. You're not. You weren't impressed by Mike
Ten
White's
and a half.
400 yards.
10.5's a lot, but no, I mean, I don't know what to make of that. I can't back Mike White. That's the best way to put that game. I'm probably not betting Thursday's game. I can't bet that Ginger POS quarterback in Indianapolis ever again after what he did last week. So
What was that?
just burn that game all around. We had
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor over fucking 75.5 yards, their best player on the team. Yet they let the Ginger throw the ball 51 times and they lose the game. I
know. And I
wonder
talked
why.
about that. Yeah. What was up with that? Why do you think they did that?
You're asking the wrong guy.
All right. All right. Well, I like the Jets here, but we're fine completely staying away from this game, right? And it's funny because I've been doing the live shows with the Keg on Thursday, and we've been having a lot of fun. but this isn't the best matchup, but we'll see. I didn't think last time was going to be a very fun matchup either, and that game turned out to be all right. Did you already start looking at some props for this game? Maybe that's the best way to attack it.
No, I don't even see any out yet.
Oh, okay. Do you think that's because of the uncertainty around Mike White?
I think it could be. I think the trade deadline's probably holding some of that off.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, what did you make of the trades before we get into the next game? I saw Von Miller is now on the Rams, Melvin Ingram on the Chiefs, and I can't pronounce the guy's name, but he's only 24 years old, and he's probably the best pickup of the three. Went to the Niners. Starts with an O, defensive end from the Texans. Do you think any of those even matter, or are those just big names that don't matter?
I mean, maybe Von Miller makes an impact because he's not going to get double teamed anymore, but that's probably it. Ingram might get a sack, but he's just got to hope Chris Jones takes all the attention, and I don't know much about the other guy.
Yeah, but from what I'm reading, he's probably the best of the three. My idea there is he's only 24, so he does have some upside beyond just being a rental for the year. Whereas with Miller and Ingram, I think it's safe to assume that every game, right? They'll probably be declining a little bit at their age, and I'm someone who knows someone about declining in age and losing athletic ability. So we will wait. Maybe we'll be revisiting that. Unfortunately, it might just be the members of RunPureBets.com that get those bets if we're not on the air again before this game. But Tyler, we'll work on those numbers when they do come out and we can find some winners. Total 46.5. Any thoughts on the total there? I think if you take it really depends on whether or not you think that Jets were a fluke or not, right? And Cincinnati's defense played pretty bad. They were the defense that we had predicted during the preseason previews, right? Bad penalties, wide open coverage. I mean, just terrible inability to stop the run. Everything that you could say bad about a defense they displayed on Sunday. So, how much do you make of that? And do you think that the Jets could help you get over at 46.5?
I mean, I think they could have put up some points, but I wouldn't bank on more than like 17 from them.
Yeah.
I think that was a fluke.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how both teams bounce back. Or, well, not. I guess the Jets won't be bouncing back, but the Bengals bouncing back. We'll be talking about them in a bit. Let's go down the whole slate. Oh, because of daylight savings, it's saying 11 o'clock and not 10 o'clock on my Pacific Standard Time. I forgot we got daylight savings this weekend. Houston Texans plus 6.5, heading to Miami to take on the Dolphins. How is this 6.5? Two terrible teams, and I'm getting 6.5. Talk me out of this, Tyler. Is there a reason that Miami should be favored this much?
I mean, Houston is pretty bad. They were losing that game 38-0 before they scored those 22 points into that one. So
yeah, that sucked too. If you got in there late, huh?
yeah, Miami's played better outside of the Buffalo game, which they did play Buffalo pretty tough this week. So I could see them blowing Houston out. Tua's looked better since the injury.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I lean the Texans there. You like the Dolphins, but I think we're both fine staying away from that game, right? I mean, this doesn't seem like a smash spot on either side, right?
Yeah, just
All right.
another ugly game, just like that Thursday night game.
For the total, 46. How are you feeling about this total? And which way should we go?
Probably lean over. I don't see Miami stopping Houston from putting up like 10-17, and Miami should put up at least 30 in this spot.
You think the offense finally gets on track? Because they have been anemic this year.
I think they can.
Yeah, I would hope so. Miami was a team that we had high hopes for. Definitely disappointed by the performance put out there. One last question for you before we move on to the next game. I don't really blame Flores for this. Do you think that Brian Flores deserves some of the blame for their poor start, or do you think that maybe this is just a poorly designed roster finally being exposed?
I think it's just a poorly designed roster finally being exposed. Like, he wants to win. I
Yeah.
don't think it's really his fault.
Yeah, so I definitely would give him some leeway there, and I'll be interested to see. I was thinking about this game this morning um, while I was out walking around trying to get a little bit of exercise. And I think it's really important that Miami bounces back next year and doesn't just get into that culture of losing. You can have a one bad season blip. In Pittsburgh under Mike Tomlin, you've never experienced that, but other teams have. And if it's just 1 year, I think it's fine. It doesn't kill your culture. It starts to be 2 or 3, it can become a problem. So it'd be really interesting to see where the Dolphins go from here. I would think that they might be a little desperate to improve this offseason, just avoid being really bad 2 years in a row and kind of falling into the depths of the NFL that are hard to get out of. Ask the Bengals, ask the Jaguars, So let's talk about the Denver Broncos. They're catching 10 points playing Dallas. Do we have Dak news? Do we expect Prescott to play here?
Yeah, I think he plays. I think they held him out of like precautionary issues
Yeah.
this week.
I think the line tells me that he's expected to play. The Broncos are catching 10. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this game. Usually I like taking the points. That hasn't worked out as well this year. It seems like the parity in the NFL is disappearing, and the good teams are just beating the tar out of the bad teams. So I don't know what to do here. Tyler, what do you think? Do you want to grab the points, or are you going to lay it with Dallas?
I mean, Dallas hasn't not covered a game this whole year. They're 7-0 against the spread, so just give me Dallas.
That makes sense, right? Until
Yeah.
they adjust, kind of like the NBA, right? If every game goes under and they're not going to lower their lines, why would I not just keep betting unders? So,
Yep.
yeah, I think that's a great angle. The total is 50. Just like the first game, or the Thursday night game relies on the Jets. I think this game relies on the Broncos. So, do you believe the Broncos can score enough to get this game over 50?
They don't, but it's a number I'm not running to bet the under because I could see Dallas hanging 40 here, and then you only need 10 points out of Denver. So that's my only problem here. So just no real play on the total.
Yeah, I would go under. I don't know if I trust this Broncos defense and Broncos offense to get there. And maybe you do the trifecta, right? You do the under on the game, you do the Dallas team total over, and then the Broncos team total under, or any myriad of those combinations there. Because I think Dallas is going to score. This Broncos defense is good, but it's shown in the new NFL. These best offenses can beat almost any defense. So, and I don't think the Broncos are that elite defensively to slow down this high-powered Cowboys offense. Maybe Cowboys team total over is the best look on this game. The Vikings right now are catching 5, heading to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. I don't know what to make of the Vikings. I like the Ravens here, even with the Ravens coming off the loss going into the bye. What do you think of this game, Tyler?
I made the mistake of backing Kirk Cousins in primetime
Yeah.
Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Bad mistake by me because he loses to Cooper Rush. But, I mean, back at 1 o'clock, Baltimore's pass defense is pretty bad. But,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Baltimore at home, probably just give me the over in this game. I think you'll see a ton of points.
Yeah, I mean, this is a real simplistic handicap. Of course, this is early in the week, and on Friday we have reserved the right to change our picks. We'll tell you if we're getting down now, but most of them we're just talking about. My original idea when I'm looking at this game, I think Baltimore's pass rush can fluster Cousins, right? He's not mobile. He doesn't like pressure. If you don't give him time, he's pretty much worthless, and I think Baltimore can do that, and that can protect the secondary of the Ravens where a more mobile quarterback can take advantage of it. Of course, Cousins can move a little bit, but he just seems like a guy who gets so flustered once his pocket's breaking down. Wink Martindale, I think that's the name of the defensive coordinator. Excuse me if I get it wrong. He loves to blitz. So I just think that Cousins it's going to be bad Cousins. That's going to be my guess. Baltimore gets back on track. I like laying the 5. So Tyler, if I do like that number, do you think that Baltimore takes money or do you think I should wait?
I mean, I don't see them like the number going crazy. I don't see any guys getting like rolled out for the Vikings. Like
Yeah, it just
Cook's
seems
pretty
like they'll
much
go from
healthy.
5
The
to 6
receivers
pretty
are good.
easily. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. What do we expect from Justin Jefferson? He was definitely hobbled in that game. Have you heard any news on him?
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be tough. Yeah, we'll see. We will see how that goes. Okay, I like Baltimore right there, and I don't mind getting in early. Buffalo Bills minus 14.5 in Jacksonville. Tyler, the Bills were fun last week. Remember on this show, you told me bet the Bills now. It was minus 13.5. It closed at 15. The number ended on 15, so we were very smart to jump in early. I kind of think it's the same way. You know, I was listening to the podcast with the guy at the South Point, and he was talking about his numbers have it at 18, but he's opening it at 14 and a half. And it's just so weird to me because I'm thinking, okay, you're not opening it to your numbers, and you're not putting it there because you're expecting the market moves. Like, who's taking Jacksonville at this number, right? I mean, like, don't you think it's going to close by 17 or 18? Just seems like they're going to end up having a ton of liability on there by not opening it at the true number. I just don't understand. Maybe I'm stupid for laying it with Buffalo again, but it's just like, how can you back the Jaguars? So I think this would be one. If we do bet it, we have to bet it now, or otherwise we just don't do it all together. What do you think?
I agree with you, but looking at this board and after what the PTSD I have from this past Sunday, that game screams it's one of the ones that just happened on Sunday, and the Jacksonville Jaguars fight the entire game, and you're sitting there like, what the hell is going on?
And I'm fine just laying off the 14 and a half, right? I'm just saying, for the sake of this show, it's Buffalo or pass, right? Are you interested in Jacksonville?
No, but I
Right.
just have that weird feeling that I could see them just hanging around that game. Josh Allen turns over the ball some weird way a couple times.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. They should win the game, but I think it's a lot of points.
Yeah, if Geno Smith and that Seattle offense can do it, I'd be really curious to see what Josh Allen does. But then again, with those weapons, I think almost any quarterback would be good, right? I could probably get at least 150 yards thrown to DK Metcalf, right? The Cleveland Browns +3 head into Cincinnati to take on my nemesis, the Bengals. Tyler, I finally backed them. I lay the points, and they don't even win outright. What happened to Cincinnati? Are they the team? Are they returning to be the team that we thought, or was this just a blip? And did they get back on track this week? What do you think about the Bengals playing your not your Cleveland Browns, but a team that you're high on, the Cleveland Browns?
Speaking of PTSD from Sunday spread, there it is, the Cincinnati Bengals.
I mean,
They lose the game outright against the goddamn Jets.
I lost Survivor on that, so.
I mean, the
What can you
Browns,
do?
I mean, I don't know what to make of them. Just all the injuries they have. Baker's trying to play through like 8 car wrecks of a shoulder injury. So give me the Bengals in this one. I don't see how the Browns keep it close.
Yeah, let's wait on this one. Do you think that? I mean, the Browns can't get to 3.5, right? It's just going to snap back, right? So we
Yeah.
have plenty of time. I think it bounces between 3 and 3.5. I think if you want the 3, you don't need to hurry into it. And I say we wait for the injury report and revisit it on Friday. But my early lean is with you. I can't believe I'm backing the Bengals, man. I'm going to take the Bengals here. I think the Browns might get some money. This might end up 2.5. I definitely want to wait here. Let's get some injury news. I'm not really too worried about missing the number, and it might even go the other way. Because I would think, the Cleveland has had more success, right? They had playoff success last year. Cincinnati's just had a good run of 7 games. I think people might be eager to scoop the Browns in a division matchup. If we do like the Bengals, let's wait. The Las Vegas Raiders are laying 3, going to New York to take on the Giants, who, they looked pretty good last night. I don't know. We forgot to do the recap of the Monday night game. I'm sorry. I was doing NBA stuff and tennis stuff, and I barely saw that game, so I'm not the best recapper. Did you watch it, and what did you think of the Giants last night?
I mean, it was just an ugly game. I think the Chiefs suck. I mean, they just look bad this year. They just don't have that magic they had the last couple of years. Everyone's starting. Well, even Mahomes is starting to realize like you throw the ball to anyone outside of Kelsey or Hill, giant drop off on the fact that they can't catch, and let
Yeah.
alone the ball bounces straight up in the air half the time and it turns into an interception. So their defense stinks. Nothing to make of the Giants. We all know Daniel Jones is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. That's about it from that Monday night game. But in this game, though, I think the Raiders smash them. I'm laying that 3.
Yeah, I hope so too. I really am high on the Raiders, obviously as a Raiders fan. Under this new coach, I think that, I think Gruden kind of divides the locker room. I think that he came off disingenuous to some players. Well, some players loved him. I think this new guy is easier for them to get behind, and I like the distribution of duties. The OC calls the play, the DC calls the play, and Rich Bisaccia is just running the team. I think that, what is this? He's not happy about us talking about Daniel Jones.
Even his receivers, like when he would throw a slant and it would hit Kadarius Toney in the feet,
Yeah.
you'd see Kadarius Toney walking to the sideline, pointing back like that's his fucking fault. Like that's not my fault. Like dude can't even give me the ball where I need it.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how his career pans out. I mean, I don't know how much longer he will stay in New York. It seems like Dave Gettleman's out there. The new guy's probably going to want to bring his new quarterback. And I wonder if he goes as a starter somewhere else, or do you think that he just ends up becoming a backup and has to work his way back to starting status like Teddy Bridgewater did?
I think this is like one of the only teams he could start on in the entire league.
Right?
I don't think like there's many other places he gets the starting job.
Yeah, I mean, even against Tyrod in Texas, I think they might have a problem with the Texans.
I think if he's in Atlanta, I think they put him on the bench and leave Matt Ryan on the field.
Do you think they would start him over Tua?
No. I think they would still leave 2 out there.
He says Daniel Jones is not a bad QB. Come on. If it wasn't for home, they would have won those 2 games. All right. Well, the Daniel Jones debate will continue, and I think it's getting to the point where you got Daniel Jones truthers, and then a lot of people who don't believe in him. And he does just enough, I think, for both sides to have plenty of ammunition for their argument. Because you can point both ways, right? So he does have flashes where he looks really good, and then he has games where he plays terribly. So that'll be fun for us to do it. And East Side Roller, we love having you on the show. So we're just throwing some stuff out here, right? And we're just talking our way through these games. Oh, not so many, Tyler. We're gonna knock this out today. I forgot there's a lot of teams on buys this week. This should actually make it a little bit easier, shorten our playing field, let us attack these edges as we continue to talk through the early lines. The Atlanta Falcons are catching 6 against the Saints. The Falcons, of course, boy, I don't know. That's just not a very good football team. And then the Saints, I was surprised that they were able to get to win, right? So,
give me the Falcons in this one. They're going to win this game.
Just because the NFL doesn't make any sense? Is that it?
That's exactly why. There's no chance Trevor Siemian wins 2 games in a row. Mm-hmm. Give me the Falcons here 2-1 to win the game.
So it's not Taysom Hill season. Is he still injured?
I believe he's still injured, but I mean, he can't really move the ball outside of running it in these gadget plays. Like, he's not going to throw the ball 30 times down the field.
Yeah. All right. Well, that would be interesting. What did you make of Calvin Ridley leaving the team? Some people were saying
retired.
He's retired?
Basically, yeah. He said he's like done with football for now.
I wonder if that's like 2 games or if it's like, I don't know. You can't stay out of football for very long, man. It's not a sport that
you think it's early set on CTE?
I have no idea. It could be drugs. It could be, I don't know.
Or maybe he pulled the heist of the century because he got his contract extension last year.
But see, it's the NFL, so that's not guaranteed money.
But he got some of his guaranteed money. Maybe that was enough for him, and he's just like, I'm done here.
Yeah, and that could be it too, right? It's just weird though. It's not like he was playing bad. I really don't know what to make of it. But when we talk about handicapping, some people were saying, "Oh, well, this helps Kyle Pitts." I don't think it helps Kyle Pitts because he's going to get all the attention now.
Yeah.
So it's like I would actually downgrade him in fantasy.
I think it helps a guy like Russell Gage, not Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. That's true. Russell Gage maybe be the beneficiary. Unfortunately, and from what I've watched, he's not bad, but he's not that good, right? I mean, I just don't know if he grabs any more attention. It's going to be That Falcons offense, man, they're just missing so much. The line isn't the best. Their running back is, I would say, I don't know. Would you say Davis is average? I would say he's like a slightly below average.
I mean, Cordell Patterson's the one doing the most work out of that backfield. I
He's
mean, Mike Davis is listed as a starter, but they use a lot of Patterson out of that backfield.
well, I think Patterson's more explosive.
Yeah, I think he's like their best offensive player right now. Even better than Pitts. They use him more.
Well, and Pitts is also what 7 games into his career.
Yeah.
So, and it's been a tough situation because this quarterback needs time. I mean, we talked earlier about Kirk Cousins. At least Cousins can move like a little bit left and right. Like, what's Matt Ryan doing?
Yeah, he's
right?
just kind of standing there.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone need to take time off for his mental health and the worries about CTE, it's Ryan sitting back there, looking like an old Southern statue getting smacked every game. So, it'd be interesting to see how long his career lasts. And Title and I were talking about yesterday. The Falcons kind of screwed up by not moving on from him earlier because now they're kind of caught in a bind. Because I know you watch a ton more college football than me. It's not like last year with all the prospects, right? I mean, who's out there that you really, really want to quarterback your team?
The only guy you really, really want, I think, is he ain't eligible till next year, and that's Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody running to draft Sam Howell. I don't see anybody running to draft the kid at Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the kid at Liberty's the one lone good quarterback in this draft, but outside of him, I think Pitt's quarterback is a fraud. He played 3 bad years, and now he has a good 5th senior year, and everyone wants to blow him. I don't see it. Yeah. So I think it's Malik Willis or bust in this draft.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Atlanta because there are no Mike Whites in this draft. The Los Angeles Chargers -2 head to Philadelphia. So the Title and I talked about this yesterday. A couple weeks ago, right out of the Chargers is the best team in the AFC. I mean, what was I thinking? This team can't stop the run. They just can't stop the run. It's absolutely terrible. Do you think the Philadelphia Eagles will be able to do what the New England Patriots did? Or because the Patriots defense is so good and the Eagles can have issues, you think the Chargers run up the score so much it doesn't matter?
I think the Chargers run up the score so much it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And I think we're getting a discounted line because of 2 bad weeks from the Chargers.
Yeah.
I think it's 1.5's a gift. I think Philly's one of the bottom 4 teams in the league. Mm-hmm. I don't see them moving the ball with Boston Scott and Jordan Howard against this team, so give me the Chargers here.
What were you more surprised by? That the Chargers lost so convincingly or that Philly won so convincingly?
I think it'd be Chargers lost so convincingly because, I mean, Philly was playing Detroit.
James Strange agrees with you. He says, I'm from Philly. We blow this game, guaranteed.
Especially after a big win, they blow Detroit out.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people probably thought they won that game, they were going to win that game. Mm-hmm. But to win it in that fashion, I don't think a lot of people seen that coming. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I could definitely see this being the lay flat spot for Philly. And the Chargers beat them by 35.
Well, and that's the thing. And I think that's why.
He said it's what we do after last week.
Yeah. You know what's fun? I haven't done it lately. I used to, especially when they were good, like in 2017, 2018. You know, you can stream radio from wherever. Yeah. Stream Philly talk shows after they lose a game, after they lose an Eagles game. I mean, it was just.
They want to burn the city down.
Yeah. Okay, so we both agree we want the Chargers. We're not giving up on this team. Entry point. Let's discuss it. -2. Do I just hit it right now?
I see -1.5. I'd take it right now.
Okay.
What do you see the money line at? I see it -125. I don't hate that either.
I got -128. Do you think I should do that instead? I think we blow them out, though.
I think they blow them out. I don't think the points matter, but
because I got -2. I mean, if I want to go to -1.5 on Bookmaker, it actually is -108. That's the normal juice I play. But don't you think? I mean, I should even go -3 plus 122.
I mean, you could go that route.
-2.5 is plus 100. Okay. Regardless, we say grab the Chargers now. That's the only one that we've really agreed on that we think that you need to bet right away, right?
I got another one coming up. I think.
Right, but of everything that we've done so far, right? I haven't
Yeah.
placed anything yet. So this is the first one that we've placed on the Tuesday NFL Rundown, brought to you by Run Pure Bets. Make sure you head on over to runpurebets.com. Find all the best in sports gambling information that the team has to offer. It's the best on the internet. Use the promo code BETS25 off to become a member. Join the Discord. Get access to all the picks, plays, and private shows. So we like the Chargers there. Let's move on to the next one. Green Bay Packers +1 against Kansas City, who are coming off what you described as a lackluster performance last night. So usually, Tyler, when I miss a game, I rewatch it on that Game Pass. Are you saying that there's no bother that I don't?
Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna bore yourself to death watching this game yesterday, but
well, I do have Game Pass in my room. I could put it on and help me go to sleep.
that's not a bad idea. I'm having trouble sleeping. Put this game on. I scrolled down on the odds for the football games, and they have the Thanksgiving odds already listed. How's Buffalo only -3.5 playing the Saints, who don't have a starting quarterback now? I know it's like
because it's in New Orleans, I mean, so they're saying they're 6.5 on a neutral, and that sounds about right.
Yeah, I think Buffalo right there is the spot.
Yeah, I kind of like it too. I mean, maybe they're still running home field at 3.
Yeah, I could see that, but we'll get back to that Green Bay Chiefs game because I think Green Bay is an underdog here. Give me them all day, every day against this Chiefs defense. Adams should be back. Lazard will still be out, I believe, because I think he was unvaccinated, so he's like at the 2-week period. Mm-hmm. But I think Green Bay is just going to be too much for him here. Give me that money line at even money.
Do you think it takes money, or do you think we bet it now? I see -100 +1, so
I'd bet it right now. I don't see anybody running to bet the Chiefs. Like, what have we seen from the Chiefs this year? Nothing.
Tyler and I talked about it, right? It was a get-right game every week. Every week we're like, oh, this is the get-right game,
yeah,
right?
That's all. Game. Yeah, that's all I keep hearing is everyone's
These guys
like, here comes Patrick Mahomes' revenge tour. Like, he's about to throw 6 touchdowns. It's like, I don't know if it's going to happen this year.
Yeah, Aaron disagrees with us. He says Eagles win by 10. Jordan Howard is going to hurt some people. Probably Aaron was watching the
he's going to hurt some people on those 1-yard plunges into the end zone. Because I think that's all he really runs.
Eastside Roller's with us. He says, yes, I think the Chargers defense gets it hurts, and Herbert cooks the Eagles as well. Yeah, we will see how that game goes. That's the first one we like. And you think we jump in on the second one right now, right? Grab the Packers?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Packers smash them.
All right. That should be a fun game. If there's, don't you think that one will kind of signal the end of like the Chiefs are going to turn around? Right? If they don't get it this week, do you think that narrative kind of dies?
Their schedule's really tough to spread. Like, they don't have an easy game, really.
Yeah.
Like, here, I'll pull up their schedule now. But yeah,
it's going to be an interesting game. The total on that game is 55.
I'd probably lean under. They keep hanging. You don't think the
Chiefs get there?
They keep hanging these Chiefs numbers so high. And we seen it last night. It was, 53.5? Mm-hmm. And they finished 20-17. They didn't even come close to the number. They're going to keep hanging these Chiefs numbers high because they think they're going to hang 35 points. Mm-hmm. Green Bay's going to want to slow it down with these running backs. Give me the under there. Same thing with the next game we're going to talk about. I'll be on the under there too.
All right. And did you find that schedule? Do you want to read it out for everybody?
Yeah, listen to this spread. They're at home for Green Bay this week. Then they visit your Las Vegas Raiders. Mm-hmm. Then they come home to play the Cowboys. They play Denver at home. Then the Raiders again. Then they go to LA to play the Chargers. The Steelers with playoff implications because both teams are fighting for a wild card spot somehow. Then they go to Cincinnati. And then they go to Denver to finish the year. I don't smell very, easy wins. Yeah.
Do you have a Chiefs to not make the playoffs right now?
Yeah, I could see if I can find that real quick for us.
Yeah, see if you can. The money line's even in that game. The Packers, quite the win there last week against the Arizona Cardinals. That was a lot. That game was a lot of fun.
Plus 125 for them to miss the playoffs.
Doesn't it sound better than betting on any of these games? I mean, that's better than any bet we've discussed so far.
I don't know. I really like that Chargers one the more I look at it.
Okay.
I'm so low on the.
I want to jump in on that right now, though. I mean, they might just completely miss.
Yeah.
You're right. That schedule's brutal.
Yeah, their easy part of the schedule was it ended yesterday, and now it's going to get really hard.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we will see if the end is near for the Kansas City Chiefs. Um, Otherwise, they'll probably be looking at some wide receivers with that high first round draft pick. The last game, the Sunday night game, the Tennessee Titans are +8 against the Los Angeles Rams. And boy, was that terrible news, Tyler. You know, I'm a big Titans guy. Um, with Derrick Henry out, it pretty much ends. You know, it was probably a small window, right? But they had a chance to win the Super Bowl. I would say. Like I really thought that there was at least like a 5% chance, right?
I think their best chance was it last year or the year before they played the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I believe it was 2 years ago when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was their best chance. You just can't, like, no human being could get hit this many times in a football game. I know he was one of the biggest running backs. I thought they were going to win the division this year. They could possibly still win the division, but it's going to be very hard without him. I don't know how they cover 8 in this game, though, spread. The Rams are going to put up at least 30 on this defense.
Mm-hmm.
Do we trust Tannehill and Adrian Peterson to get points on the board?
I kind of think they do.
I'm not sure. I mean, if Julio's still out, they just key on A.J. Brown and let Ramsey just dig into him.
Yeah, that's a great point. They're so matchup proof.
Yeah, give me the Rams here, minus up to 10.
Do you think that the money goes that way?
I think so. This number was 6, I believe, and it's continuously moving.
Yeah, well, I like the over here, but it sounds like you don't think the Titans are going to be able to put up points. Does that mean you lean towards the under?
Yeah, I lean towards the under. 54.
Right.
Definitely a Titans team total under.
Yeah. Eastside Roller agrees with us here. He thinks they still win the division.
Damon, I mean, there's a very good possibility they win the division. They do have the couple game lead cushion.
Yeah.
But it's like, would it surprise you, like, if they reeled off, like, 5 losses in a row and Tannehill just looks like Miami Tannehill again?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this could go bad very quickly.
Yeah, it could. We'll see. I do trust Mike Vrabel as a coach. I think he kind of gets underrated because he's not like an offensive whiz kid genius, but they always seem to get it done. Rarely do you see a bad effort out of this team. So we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. I guess we'll be opposite on that one. I'm not down to jump in there. I say the only 2 that we officially bet for the show right now. Let's take 2 road teams that we like. Let's take the Chargers and the Packers. Are you good with that, Tyler?
Yeah, I go with that. I like both of those.
All right. Well, quicker rundown today with all the buys, but you know what? I kind of like it because we will be able to key in, and we're going to be able to really get in depth on Friday with the prop shows. And of course, as these injury reports come out, a lot of these leans could turn into plays. So we're going to keep looking at this stuff. But those are definitely the 2 that I like right now. Oh, I like the Ravens right now too. I like the Ravens as well there. So this is a lot of fun, Tyler. And at least I got to bet a home team there, right? Yeah. A lot of fun. So we are going to take a step behind the curtain, go ahead and put our NBA hats on, and we will be back in about 2 hours with Travis Mangone. So please, guys, do us a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, share it with your friends. We will be back in a couple hours to talk some NBA, and we're having so much fun in this action-packed November here with all 3 sports going as one. Could be the last night of Major League Baseball, but hockey's rolling. We've even got some tennis right now. I mean, there's so much stuff to watch. Bet 24/7. So what a time to become a member of RunPureBets.com. Head on over to RunPureBets. Use the promo code BETS25 off to become a member. That being said, James needs to join the Discord. Just send a message to, who do we get him in? With JJ or the captain?
The captain or Mangone.
Yeah, please send a message to the captain or Mangone. And James, if you're not sure, just go ahead and DM me on Twitter at Astaire, and I'll forward the message along. So, guys, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and run.